Mr. Chairman, greetings from the country of Sagarmatha, also known as Mount Everest, and congratulations to you for taking the mantle of the Climate Vulnerable Forum and for hosting this innovative high-tech virtual summit. As I address you, the adverse impact of climate change appears more prominent in the entire Himalayan region, posing a serious threat to ecological system of the mountains. High altitude plants and animals are losing their habitat and are forced to move higher. Some species are already disappearing. The combination of glacier melting and erratic rainfall has caused to climate-induced disaster, particularly landslides and floods in the downstream. Availability of fresh water for natural systems and for human use has been affected. Extreme events such as desertification, droughts, and crop failure have become more frequent. This has upset ecological balance. The Himalayan mountains are the source of major river basins that extend down to the ocean. When the mountains are impacted by the climate change, the entire downstream suffers. As a large amount of snow from the Himalayas starts melting, it will result in rising sea levels, posing existential threat to small island countries. We cannot address the adverse impact of climate change without fully recognizing the organic linkage between mountains and the oceans. Conservation of mountains remains critical for the sustenance of lives and livelihoods downstream. Climate vulnerable countries in group record least greenhouse gas emissions. However, it is an unpleasant irony that they have been the victims of the catastrophes that they didn't contribute for. Nepal's joining of this forum is inspired by our desire to combat climate change together and to contribute to enhanced collaboration, coordination, advocacy, and knowledge sharing among developing countries. Climate change requires a robust and matching response at the global level. Climate action should be launched in a concerted manner to limit the rise of global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius as envisaged by the Paris Agreement and scientifically reinforced by the IPCC special report last month. Such actions should be decisive and they must ensure climate justice that respects the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities, equity, and respective capabilities at the center of its implementation. Handing over of safer planet and better place to live in to our future generations is our obligation. Access to climate funds and affordable technology is the key to any climate action in developing countries. The implementation guidelines, which is being elaborated in Katowice, should treat loss and damage in the same footing as mitigation. It should ease access to climate finance by simplifying the application, approval, and disbursement process. In particular, countries in special situations must receive the highest priority for climate-related funds and support measures. We must implement the Paris Agreement in its entirety and good faith. The momentum created by the IPCC special report needs to be capitalized to ramp up ambition. This must be the message that our forum should carry to the COP24 in Katowice early next month. At the national level, we need to work for rapid deployment of climate solutions such as scaling of renewable clean energy, eradicating energy waste, expanding of electromobility, and protecting and expanding forests and natural systems. Nepal considers climate change as the defining development challenge of our time. We are working towards streamlining policies, building institutions, and deploying targeted interventions to reduce emissions, preserve biodiversity, protect glacial lakes and river basins, invest in resilience, and even put a price on carbon. The protection of the mountains is an important and serious global issue. We have to understand the relationship between the seas and the mountains to create the climate and the weather, and to protect the earth from ecological and environmental imbalance. Mountains shoulder a thick layer of snow and continuously maintain the natural recharge system. The clouds, polluted by the acidic and other harmful elements, collide to the mountains and melt the ice, resulting the adverse effect such as avalanches, flood and other calamities. So this is not the matter of concern to the mountainous country only, but for all over the world. We are contributing significantly to protect the global warming and to meet the target of limiting the global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius by cooling down the air and the earth. We can all do this together, and for this, from our part, we'll do our best. The dream of a safer Mother Earth needs the cooperation of all countries. It means saving the lives and livelihoods of the poor and the vulnerable and ensuring the integrity of our ecosystems. Implementing climate actions aligning with the Sustainable Development Goals becomes even more rewarding. Nepal expresses solidarity with the CBF to raise the voices of the least developed, mountainous and small island countries as we elaborate on the implementation guidelines, a key step for turning the Paris Agreement into action. I wish grand success of this CBF virtual summit. Thank you all.